Welcome to Kenneth O'Neal's Word of the Week. Each week, Kenneth will discuss a word which describes a principle or value of the qualities of success. Use the word of the week in your thoughts, deeds, and actions. You can replace a good habit with a bad habit. You can use it as an action step. Kenneth O'Neal will bring you a word of the week each week, and it will help you to improve your life, your relationships, your professional career, and your overall well-being. I know you'll enjoy Word of the Week with Kenneth O'Neal. Kenneth O'Neal is a certified Zig Ziglar trainer and the head of O'Neal Consulting in Kerrville, Texas. The word of the week is action. And now, Kenneth O'Neal.
What we're all about is the action step for the week.
So that must be the word of the week then.
That's right. The word of the week is action.
I'm just getting really fine-tuned into this.
Fine-tuned. That's a good word. Fine-tuned. So today we're not going to talk about the steps, the things that we should do, the steps
It's not a 5-step program then.
No, at the end we'll come back to 5 steps. You're getting ahead of the game here. So we're having a little bit of a slow takeoff here. But the word action, it's being active and being action-oriented, but it is a mindset. Because, see, the actual steps and the procedures, the processes, the positivity, it's all different for each person.
Yeah, but it all starts up here.
It all starts up there, that's right.
And for those of you not on television, I'm pointing to my head.
Right, a beautiful head it is. So, action is the ultimate superpower. It is the bridge between where we are and where we aspire to be. So if we're on one side of a river, we want to be on the other side, there's a bridge. So that takes action. So the starting points of being active or using actions is your self-awareness and your goal setting. Very good. The word action really began. At one time, nobody ever even thought about this. But it started out as grounds for a lawsuit. It comes from the Latin word agere, A-G-E-R-E, which means to do. So here we are in the 1300s, years and years ago, and they came up with what was called at this time the Statutes of Realm, R-E-A-L-M, which is the kingdom or the royal domain in Great Britain. Up to this time, none of this action steps and all this stuff we see in the Library of Congress, that was never documented before. Actually did. It identified and underscored the idea that words in a governing context, they're not passive, but they are inherently action-driven. I know this is it's pretty deep, really. But it's the energy, all the energy that we do, it propels us forward. And on a self-development basis, what it does is that it breaks through the fear that we have of doing things. All right? You know, Zig Ziglar said, you don't have to know everything to get started. All right? But you got to start if you ever want to be successful. You got to take the first step. And from us on a personal basis, that first step, it could be very small. Get started. started. And that momentum will actually be a ripple effect. This next step, what should I do? Lots of opportunities and potential things that we can do. They come into our mind, but these things take action. And so think back to the Wright brothers. I mean, they could have sat there on the... Knew they had to take a step if they were going to fly that airplane that they had created. He always says the idea is that it got started long years and years ago, and those statutes of realm, I looked them up, and there are... But it all started back, and we talk about them being steps of productivity, and of course one of the greatest superpower steps is to obtain the mindset of being a person of gumption.
Okay.
And the person of gumption gets up every day, and the first thing they do is make their bed.
Well, I think that's kind of important, yeah.
You got to take that first step. Have a little success in your activity. But think about where that all actually came from, of actually being active and taking these action steps.
The root of action is realms.
The realms, yeah, back when they wrote all those statutes.
So that's root.
Root. That's when it began.
Yes. Not route, but root.
Right. So and this is kind of detailed, and when I started working on this, I wanted to make sure that everybody thinks about their action. In Rotary, we have the 4-way test, and we say, is it the truth? And so we're looking at actions and deeds. How do you do? And the activity of being kind and considerate and civil. Those are action steps. But the idea of doing actually came a long time ago, 1300 or before.
There he is, Mr. Kenneth O'Neal. And if you'd like to chat with him, it's easy, windstream.net.
Right,
merger at
windstream.net. And the telephone number, 830-285-7010. Give me a call, send me a text, and...
This is Tom Fox. I'm a co-founder of the Texas Hill Country Podcast Network. If you've enjoyed this podcast and you would like to talk to us about getting your own podcast on the Texas Hill Country Podcast Network, we'd love to talk to you. So you can reach us at our website, through our website, the Texas Hill Country Podcast Network. Word of the Week with Kenneth O'Neal is our latest podcast, and we will present Kenneth's word each week going forward. They will be insightful, they will be useful, they will be important, and can be a significant increase of all aspects of your life going forward. I hope you'll subscribe, rate, and review this podcast wherever great podcasts are listened to. This is Tom Fox. Thank you so much for listening.